To begin, before COVID was even thought of as a conscientious word in anyone's mind, and all of the propaganda that followed, I personally met with the sheriff, Renee Thibodeau, prior with a witness from church, as well as there were two other officers within official capacity, including the now newly elected underneath Renee Thibodeau, Assistant Sheriff Joffrin, or as I like to call Jaffe, the second hand of the money mob. Anyway, so I presented to them the HRC 6666 contract trace bill, what would be happening with the shots, what they would be called, all the technical information, documentation, how all of it would pertain to local business, privatized national business, or larger corporations, schools, nursing homes, and how it could possibly provocate, and has now shown for sure, communistic tyrannical movements upon the people's constitutional rights. Mostly the fact that I educated him and them early on that with the proprietary things at his disposal within his power as a newly elected sheriff, he could take not only a leap and bound for the local parish and the people, but once they saw exactly how much he cared about them, it would be easy to get behind a man like that. And that's what we were hoping for. But you see, that didn't happen. Not too long after this meeting, I never got a response again from him, although I messaged belief, an opinion, but it's just fundamentally there, a moralistic or better choice for the community of Poincaré Parish. As you can see now, as up to date, the investigation on the nursing home deaths has never been spoken of. I have tried to ask responses up until about September of last year, and then I didn't receive any more. Then I was told by one of our councilmen that the gentleman Rick Ward, Mark Ward, whatever, which one it is, if not both, one retired, the way that the investigation was being allocated out was changed and to an individual basis, and they would not be able to release any information, which I know is total BS. And at that time, I started presenting outside of the bounds of the sheriff the information to council members and such. Kept records and made a video of that, and that's called the insurance policy. That's the one where it has all of the, and I have it, saved on a back stick as well for the whole year. So you're talking about city council members for the city of New Roads. You're talking about parish council members, the sheriff. They all had my 100% undivided attention, proof, facts, and help at their disposal, including a supposed pastor of a church who said he would meet with me, and then after we could meet one time, he never responded to me again. And well, that's a shame because he's a pastor. We should all be seeking the Lord first, as I would hope he would preach, and then from that the Lord would probably put on your heart to seek thy neighbor and love thy neighbor as yourself. So if you're giving yourself the truth, you're doing the work for self to give yourself the best that you can in the truth of the Word as you apply to the truth in your life, well, in my personal belief, he would apply some of the things maybe I discussed with him, and we would see that happening. But what we see is the exact opposite, and it's a shame. But I also know that sometimes these folks, and for you guys, ladies out there listening, I know that there are some on the squad, or that there's some that work for public service, and there's a lot of weight on y'all's shoulders, risk losing your jobs, kind of like, I guess, in a way being shamed by the community because they would make you look like me, a crazy person, instead of, because, it's in the regular matrix, it's hard to decipher some of these things this far down the pipe. But there are a lot of you who are waking up to the bits and pieces that are closing in the dots to let you see yourselves that you might be working with someone, or maybe one more up than that could be giving out information or not doing what's right for the community. And not only have I been doing this behind the scenes all along, but I've had a lot of conversations with those that I'm talking about, and anonymously, they all are wonderful people that really do care. And it's, in my opinion, God sets everything up so perfectly that he would not allow them to put themselves in harm's way, but for all of us to meet, and for all of us to get the facts drawn across and the lines drawn on the sand, so we know where individually we all stood. So with that being said, a little bit later, I ended up giving a call to Renee about a 3-day in a row attempted murder here in New Roads, where a person had their life attempted on 3 days in a row by the same perpetrator. The perpetrator was caught on videotape, license plate, fairly decent video. The perpetrator was also on the 3rd day, I believe, followed home while on video because of the alarming situation of gunfire. The assailant fled, and the victim, chased a little bit, because enough's enough. Nobody would help this person out. This person has called police department with no help. And that's the truth. And that person took it upon themselves to hire a private investigator, in which all that information was compiled and given to Sheriff Renee. Now, after this mark, there should have been a clear arrest made, but there wasn't. Instead, days later, there was a call from Kevin McDonald to this person that they had a call in that this person was kind of driving erratically at a higher rate of speed. He was pulled over, so Kevin was on scene. Kevin told this person that, I believe we got the person, the assailant, in your situation. And then the victim in this situation stated to Kevin McDonald, "Oh, great, well, did y'all arrest him?" And he said, "No, we let him go." So why would you tell a person all that just to say that you let him go? And by oh by, the police report for that is a knuckle biter. You can tell that it's just not valid based on word of mouth that I got directly from this person, and then going in to read the report. And this person ended up going to jail for something totally separate days later after that, and probably got out within a couple of days. Lo and behold, though, this person is related to someone who is good friends with Tony Clayton. And this person, in relation to someone else, is in a private deal, business-wise, with Tony Clayton, as well as the mayor of New Roads, Cornell Dukes. And so, nothing was ever done. And then Renee made visits to state that he would like to go to whom other than Tony Clayton with the case. So why wouldn't you have started an investigation and made an arrest, at least based on all of the homework done for you preemptively? Then maybe go to Tony Clayton or something like that. Didn't do nothing at all. So let's move on. And then around that time, we had folks getting voted out as the old sheriff, whom Renee worked for. And the old sheriff tore up the office. Well, Renee, we didn't need you to pay for it to make yourself look like you're some, trying to do the community a favor. But we put more than enough tax money into that pool for that office to be fixed. No problem. We don't need your handouts. We already gave you a nice, very nice police vehicle, personal for work, that really could be baseline. But you got upgraded, okay? So, how do we never hear anything else about a former sheriff who tore up public property, got away with it, put someone on payroll in a ghost note basically for something plus years, and we ain't heard nothing else about it? And Renee, shouldn't you be investigating that big time things? Y'all caught him stealing the money, but we have never seen a dime coming back into the people's pocket, for the parish, and a presentation of that having been done. So there's that, and there's no investigations on nothing else. They'll say, "Oh, he's guilty." Where's the money he paid back? Okay, that money could have put up these new poles y'all just put in that weren't really needed. So moving on. And since we're on Kevin McDonald, I got a video of what seems to be one of your relatives, drunk in the middle of the road with his car running, pulled down by a couple of ambulance personnel. And y'all show up and y'all just let him go on home. No ticket, no DUI, no nothing. So, rules for thee, not for me, and maybe for some other folks that I'm buddies with or family with. That's not right. And we have the evidence, but y'all ain't never going to do nothing. So the best thing to do is make the people aware, so that when all the people have had enough, and when you all decide, when y'all's Major King, y'all love saying that boy's name. Old John Bel Edwards was walking in the room. Remember the last meeting when you said that? John Bell might be walking in here. Cut the clown work. John Bel Edwards wouldn't even go somewhere with you guys around here, because he would get totally talked to like a dog, because he's a lying sack of shit. Dude lies through his teeth. Look, the dude gets up on the podium, and lies about coronavirus, the jabs, all of it. And then you all have meetings with this dude and Billy Nungasser, and then you conduct yourself in your all council meetings totally opposite from how he is provocating this fear tactic over this virus. And up until the last council meeting, then y'all automatically, y'all take y'all's masks off because there's no science. I mean, it's total hypocrisy and idiocracy against the people's rights. And when did y'all ever think that y'all could just, we have an agenda and we just got to follow through and I have somebody to answer to? When did the pieces of paper that told you what to do based on some decisions y'all's made stop and end there? And y'all don't have to answer the people, because we've been asking, we've been stating, we've been offering help, we've been doing it all. And we have now found out who actually cares about the people and who could give a rat's ass. And so that's what this whole thing's about. This is about calling you folks out for who you are. You're cowards. That's what you are. You're thieves. You're liars. You're cowards. And you do not, in my personal 100% belief, because let's just lay this out there. I know that I can count on both hands and both feet people, not in y'all's capacity, not with the tools at hand, find all this information, formulate a game plan for themselves, and helped others, including in their own lives, deal with the situations that they have unfolded all year long. And by the way, you guys, council members, these people, blah, 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 police officer, sheriff, this and that, Dr. Rochelle, all of you, okay? Why is it, Sheriff Renee, that you can't put two and two together and think that someone, other than yourself, could figure out all these things, and then how they would see that you're not doing that? With all the tools at your disposal, you haven't actually done one thing except let people go off the squad, allow your officers to do some literal illegal shit around this town, like throw me out of a fucking grocery store because I won't wear a mask. And we had that conversation over the phone, so call me a liar. Go ahead, I dare you. I called you out in the council meeting on purpose because I wanted everyone to see that if I was lying, you would call me out. You'd tell me right then and there. But you didn't. And you didn't have anything else to say either. You've been a cop for how long? And now you're the sheriff. We voted for you because apparently not everybody, some of us are trained well, but some of us reach out with the godly heart that we are given to put in trust in someone because of who they are giving to us in their actions and their words. And sir, you did a pretty good job at fooling some people. But the proof is in the pudding, sir, the work. Now, all the things I just stated, just the stuff from the beginning of this video, how come you didn't do any of those things, sir? How come you didn't make a video like this talking about how you're not getting any help, about how you're trying to solve all these cases? You know the people would back you up, and you know it's not like something you should be afraid of talking about because there's nothing to hide, sir. You work for the people. If you're hiding things, if any of y'all are hiding things, that means that you should be fired immediately. And an investigation should be made because we obviously know y'all ain't doing what you're supposed to be doing. You're a pushover with Second Amendment gun rights. You've been a pushover with the investigation on the nursing home deaths. These are elderly people that were put to their death for nothing, dude. I showed you the proof of how they did it. I've shown you the proof about what the vaccine actually is. Hydrochloroquine, the therapeutics of the vaccine. There's no vaccine needed. I've shown you the data that tells you everything. You know how many kids this year in this parish alone you could have saved from mental distress, physical health problems, hospitalizations, educational things that came up because they were learning from home and then learning from school and trying to figure out for them poor little selves what was going on? How dare you, dude? You're not a man, in my opinion, so next time don't ever shake my hand again. I will say hi from a distance, sir, because you know what? I have enough respect for myself that I can talk to you all, as disgustingly pathetic as you all are. Goes for you, Major Fat Butt Tebow, because, dude, as much as you tote your little boot around because you got trained when you were in the Senate so you can come back be a president and they'd get their inside guy in there, you don't think we know all that, Major Teabag? Well, we do. Problem is that big bear you got around over there don't prove that you ain't nothing but a coward.